In the spring of 1836, after nearly 3 years of construction, the temple in Kirtland was finally ready for dedication. On the morning of March 27, 1836, the saints gathered here in the lower court of the Kirtland Temple.
Reports indicate that 1,000 people were in this hall. You can imagine after 3 years of construction, the saints are overjoyed and overwhelmed with what is about to happen. These people had been through a lot. They had left comfortable homes, they had moved to the frontier, they had faced persecution, they had faced poverty, they had faced an unknown future, but they gave their all to God.
That morning, the dedicatory service opened with Sidney Rigdon preaching for nearly 2.5 hours. After he finished his sermon, Sidney called for the congregation to acknowledge Joseph Smith as a prophet and a seer. In turn, each of the quorums of the priesthood stood, acknowledging Joseph as a prophet. During the dedicatory service, the saints sang several hymns, many of them which they had written themselves. They included, for example, the first public performance of The Spirit of God Like a Fire is Burning, written specifically for the dedicatory service of this building. The congregation then took a 15-minute break, after which Joseph Smith addressed them. He asked that all of the members acknowledge and sustain all of the leaders of the church, after which he addressed them for a short time. Then he offered the dedicatory prayer. It had been previously written and printed, now as section 109 of the Doctrine and Covenants.
My first time in the Kirtland Temple was when I was a teenager. I remember coming here with my family and touring this site as a historic site when it was owned by a Community of Christ. And as I have been here many, many times over the years since, that love and honor and reverence has only grown. The people that have been caretakers of this building have done a tremendous job. I have felt as much their consecration and their sacrifice taking care of this place as I have felt those that built it originally. The Latter-day Saints dedicate this temple in 1836, and within 2 years, they are gone. You can imagine the sacrifice that they had to build it and then to walk away. But it doesn't really matter because that holiness has stayed. For the last almost 190 years, hundreds and thousands of people have come through this place, and it has remained a place of holiness. It was dedicated to God in 1836, and that prayer is still holding today. People who come into the temple today still feel constrained to acknowledge that God is here. It doesn't need another prayer because the Spirit has never left this place.